building blocks on the platform and allows you to create a virtual computer in the cloud. Choose your operating system, memory, and computing power. Then you can rent that space in the cloud like you're renting an apartment that you pay for by the second. A common use case is to use an instance as a server for a web application. But one problem is that as your app grows, you'll likely need to distribute traffic across multiple instances. In 2009, Amazon introduced elastic load balancing, which allowed developers to distribute traffic to multiple instances automatically. In addition, the CloudWatch service can collect logs and metrics from each individual instance. The data collected from CloudWatch can then be passed off to AutoScale, in which you define policies that create new instances as they become needed based on the traffic and utilization of your current infrastructure. These tools were revolutionary at the time, but developers still wanted an easier way to get things done, and that's where Elastic Beanstalk comes in. Most developers in 2011 just wanted to deploy a Ruby on Rails app. Elastic Beanstalk made that much easier by providing an additional layer of abstraction on top of EC2 and other auto-scaling features. Choose a template, deploy your code, and let all the auto-scaling stuff happen automatically. This is often called a platform as a service, but in some cases, it's still too complicated. If you don't care about the underlying infrastructure whatsoever and just want to deploy a WordPress site, Lightsail is an alternative option where you can point and click at what you want to deploy and worry even less about the underlying configuration. In all these cases, you are deploying a static server that is always running in the cloud. But many computing jobs are ephemeral, which means they don't rely on any persistent state on the server, so why bother deploying a server for code like that? In 2014, Lambda came out, which are functions as a service, or serverless computing. With Lambda, you simply upload your code, then choose an event that decides when that code should run. Traffic scaling and networking are all things that happen entirely in the background, and unlike a dedicated server, you only pay for the exact number of requests and computing time that you use. Now, if you don't like writing your own code, you can use the serverless application repository to find pre-built functions that you can deploy with the click of a button. But what if you're a huge enterprise with a bunch of its own servers? Outpost is a way to run AWS APIs on your own infrastructure without needing to throw your old servers in the garbage. In other cases, you may want to interact with AWS from remote or extreme environments, like if you're a scientist in the Arctic. Snow devices are like little mini data